Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 154 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of February 7th, 2021. We weren't around last week because we were all stuck in a time loop on Groundhog Day. Actually, that was Monday, wasn't it? That doesn't work. Whatever. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend that this is, I'm gonna not pretend that we're doing this on time for once, and, we want to get this done before the Super Bowl, but without further ado, my engineer is Jacob Durbin, my firemen are Nick Wakefield and Jared Cole. I'm your dispatcher, otherwise known as the Admiral. My name's Ellis, and with us our brakeman returning is HFM Bears. The train will terminate at the station.
Welcome to Scenic Sunset Gulch. I don't know where it's located. Currently, we're probably watching Dean do some weird stuff, like I don't know, the die inside. He was helping me a minute ago. Anyway, yeah, welcome to Sunset Gulch and Gary's Mod and Dean. So
Dean is lagging real bad. the train just like wicked stuttered. He's driving a Providence Northern engine, so that's kind of neat. But I thought he had crashed for a minute because I thought it would have been the fender bender defender freezing his train up. But
wait,
what?
Why didn't I not see Dean? I was gonna go watch him.
I don't know. Why don't you see Dean? He probably unfriended you.
Oof.
No.
That's okay. I would unfriend me too.
I unfriend you.
There are other railroads that could use a fender bender defender though, and CSX is definitely number one on that list right now. They chalked up 4 different accidents, and there might be more because there were a couple links that I missed in trying to get this podcast up and running. But 2 on the same day, and then another 2 days apart. First one's a YouTube link. No injuries in Dickinson County, Virginia. And another one is another YouTube link on Buffalo's Beltline approaching CP 437, which was a minor derailment. Again, no injuries, nothing special. The third is on January 23rd, so the first 2 were on the 15th. This is on the 23rd. A train hit a car in Chesterfield, Virginia. And then 7 cars derailed in Cincinnati on a railroad bridge. So that was... that's your CSX sort of repertoire.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I feel like they were doing pretty well for a little while. I guess that might have worn off. 1,000 gallons of diesel leaked from the train. Yeah. Just kind of... No pictures, unfortunately, but, kind of...
Of the Cincinnati one?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Alright. While he grabs that picture...
There's some crazy pictures of it.
While he grabs that picture, I'm going to talk about BNSF, who also had 2 accidents on the same day. This was the 24th. First one was somewhere in Arizona, near Holbrook, actually. In the middle of nowhere. I don't actually know what happened here. Multiple cars derailed. A dozen or more freight cars off the tracks, toppled on their sides. No further information on that. Like I said, also that same day, we have a video, if it will load. Anytime now. Where BNSF hit a car in Minnesota. Parham at 3:10 p.m. It was a fatality.
Oh.
Don't try to beat the gates. Norfolk,
there for a reason.
Yeah. Norfolk Southern derailed train 16T 2 days later in Charlestown. And then on the 29th, they also hit a car on the Elkhart virtual railfan camera. Yeah, I don't know if anybody was injured in that one. The car was stuck, so it's not like they were trying to barrel across.
Why does the title say it's an Indian train?
What? Is it an Indian?
Why is the? It literally says India, not Indiana.
Elkhart Indian train.
Have done the Indian train.
I was gonna go with they call it the Indian train. Canadian Pacific remains the current holder of the Class 1 Medal of Responsibility, and that lets us go off into our personal experiences in the last couple of weeks, which I've got something really cool that I want to talk about, but I've got to set up the cargo stock, so take it away, whoever.
Well, I haven't really been up to much in terms of railroading, seeing as it's absolutely freezing outside. But I have decided that once spring rolls around, hopefully, I would really like to clean out my back room and set up some sort of a train table back there. Because I've got a whole bunch of model stuff sitting around, but I've never had room to use it, but I do now.
Yay.
And I'd love to set something up.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, Jader,
Well,
you're
fun.
one to promote this, considering you've been doing a lot with it.
So, yeah, in the past, I think last time I was on here, I was still in the demolition phase of everything, but now I'm doing the fun stuff. Now I'm actually building everything.
Dude, you've been building on the model railroad for years.
Yeah, this is not quite a brand new layout, but it's basically half of it is like new build. Or half, maybe 2/3, I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'll start things off with the first picture that I posted. That is the first drop bridge, and I kind of just wanted to make this one because it was the easiest of the three because it's straight. The other two are on curves. But it works. It's pretty solid. I just need to figure out how to wire it up. So it's simple enough to just unplug. You drop the bridge and you can go through.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I have some ideas, but I haven't put anything into motion yet.
I'd put some contacts on the non-hinged side. That way, if it's jostled a little bit and isn't lined up, then then you won't get any power on the bridge. And then you've got like the weight of the bridge pressing on those contacts instead of at the hinge side where you don't have a lot of weight because the hinge is supporting it.
That could work.
Just a thought.
I've thought about either contacts, like that, they're just like pressure, or because most of the time it's going to be down unless I'm in there running trains. I might just do like a microphone jack or something on the non-hinge side. Just plug it in, you got power, and then you unplug it. The wire's like snaked under it's like attached to the bottom of the bridge, so it doesn't, droop or anything. And then you just drop the bridge, and there you go. Because it'd only be up if I'm in there running trains or something. Otherwise, it'd be down.
Nobody likes droopy wires.
Let's see. The second picture, it's Gary's mod. Ignore that for now. The third picture is what I did on Friday. Or was it yesterday? No. No, fuck, I don't remember. It was either yesterday or Friday. But this is the bottom section of the yard. The yard is kind of two levels. Bottom is staging yard. The top is the actual operational yard.
Mm-hmm.
And this was actually interesting to cut because it's not it's not exactly square because there's it angles out from the main section, and then there's that little lip.
Yeah, and there's a pointy part so you can stab people with it. If they
It has
insult
two
your
purposes
trains.
then. When they call it a train set, I just unplugged that whole section and just but no, that's made mainly just to line up with the other section sort of cosmetically, more than anything. The next picture, that's it lined up about where it's pretty much where it's going to be, lined up with the main section, and then I roughed out the tracks for the staging yard on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then where I'm standing in the track that goes off without a bump or anything, that'll be the continuous running connection over another drop bridge, so I can at least run something in a loop. Not a giant loop, but better than nothing.
Brother.
It's not the point of this layout, though. Like it's basically just either a kind of a BS loop or a therapy loop, and
There you go.
and like for like operationally like to add more time to runs.
I mean, it's switching is like the bones of what you want to, the meat and potatoes of what you want to do on a layout for most people. But I feel like it's always good to have at least one opportunity for a train to go without you touching it.
Oh yeah.
It shouldn't always be point to point.
That's exactly why I did it. And then if I'm absolutely nuts, I have another spot where I could do a longer continuous run. It'd be a longer drop bridge or lift bridge or something across a doorway, and then like sort of on top of the workbench, and then it ties into the end of the branch line, and then I can go all the way around the room. But I don't want to do that yet. The next picture is what I did. Yeah, yet. Soon, TM. The next couple pictures are what I did yesterday. Got the top section cut and started mocking up the yard, how it's going to work. I can fit about 20 cars in it, which really isn't bad.
This picture is of you filling the yard. Presumably, the next one down. I just pulled it up for the audience.
Yeah, that one's filling the yard just kind of seeing what it could, what works, and then if I need to get any more track, which I think I definitely put enough planning into this, because except for like two more switches that I just don't have enough of, like from the old layout, I only need to buy really 2 more turnouts, and then I have pretty much all the turnouts for what I want to do initially, and then I'll just buy flex track as I work on stuff, and even then I don't think I'll need a whole lot.
I want flex track.
Flex track is good for you.
Here's your roundhouse.
Yeah, that's about where the roundhouse is going to be. The turntable looks like cardboard because, it is cardboard. I'm thinking of lengthening the bridge of it and adding a false pit or like a false floor and new pit. Basically, building it on top of an Atlas turntable, just to have it long enough where I can actually turn like a 280 or something. Because right now, a 280 it won't fit. Like one wheel overhang seat on either side, so it just doesn't work.
Well, see, the Pensy figured out how to fix that. You just add some extra rails that stick off the edge and roll it up onto that.
Yeah. I mean, I could do that, but that's... I don't know how that would work with a model. If I could find a way, I'd try it, but I don't know.
I bet you could make it work, man.
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh,
I believe in you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's not a good idea, which is why I want you to do it.
I mean, maybe.
He's thinking about it. This is dangerous. He's thinking.
Yeah, I'm in danger. Let's see. The next picture down from that, there's the roundhouse, is I kind of took it at like eye level, because basically depending on what chair I have pulled up next to the yard, or at least I'd be sitting at pretty much eye level, which I think is awesome, because I haven't really had that on a layout ever. Not yet. Not yet. Once it's all scenic, it'll be really, really artsy. And I didn't put a picture of it, but where like the main passenger station is, where trains would pull in or leave from, you can get a good like a dead-on shot of the front of the train.
Mm-hmm. I can't help but notice the next picture down is the beginnings of a coffin for your wallet.
Should have actually thrown my wallet in there for the picture. But no, that is the framework. It's just about done until I was probably going to finish it today, but my drill's battery died, so I need to let it charge overnight.
What's the wallet coffin?
The second to last picture, I think. Third to last. But that is the framework for the Blair Mills Y, and that's at the end of the branch line. There's going to be a Y with a tail track that's really just long enough to turn an engine on each side. It's going to stick onto the workbench a little bit for the other tail track. Not really sure how that's going to go yet, but I'll figure it out.
You'll find out sooner or later.
In my head, it works, but and based on how everything else has gone, in my head it's worked, so I'm just going to go with it. If it doesn't work, then I don't know, maybe I'll say fucking put another turntable over there.
Sorry about that.
All right.
So, Graham the other day sent me this was when I was talking about like some of my ambitions when I get back into model railroading. But Graham sent me a picture of a Z-scale loop that somebody had put inside their computer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's cool.
That's actually kind of cool.
And then your computer overheats, and so does the engine.
Oh yeah, no, thinking about it, like, it would get hot in there for that little Z-scale engine. And I'm like, as cool as that is, I wouldn't do it, even though Grandma's like, you should do this. But I'm like, nah. But it was still kind of cool. I'll try and find a picture of it so you can put it in the cargoes.
Yeah, if you can grab the picture of that. Also, Jader, you posted these two pictures of a mine.
Oh yeah, that's one of two coal mines on the railroad. That's kind of the main one.
Oh, I found it. There it is.
I started mocking up the track for that last night and just seeing what I could get away with without having to buy more switches, and I kind of like how it's coming along.
It looks nice. You're having two coal mines, you said?
Yeah, there's I don't have a picture of it on the Discord here, but this is the main one. This is the upper licking mine.
And then there's the lower licking mine. Heyo.
The other one's the junction mine.
Oh. Where's the fun in that?
Maybe we'll have like an abandoned lower licking mine or something.
Yeah. Do you
It's
have
all
a place to bring the coal?
Sort of. In the upper yard, I'm still not sure what I'm going to call it. I'm thinking Athens, but I'm not sure yet. There's a coal dealer. You can bring coal to the coal tower.
What kind of coal you got? What's your price?
He's got the good stuff.
You got the good
It
stuff?
ain't
You got that?
anthracite.
You got that? Oh, it's not anthracite? Well, then I'm not interested.
2 minutes BB.
Foyobe snow.
Phoebe?
Foyobe.
Let's see, but there's a coal dealer and the coaling tower on the top level. Most of the towns are going to have like a little team track or house track where I assume like you could bring in a hopper and then a local coal dealer would come in. They have a conveyor that they can rent or something and then truck it to. Yeah, and then they truck it out.
The coal vacuum cleaner.
And then you can always just route it out and through or out and down to staging, and then it gets sent to somewhere else. I don't know where yet.
Somewhere.
Gets sent into the ether.
Gets sent to the town of elsewhere.
Exactly.
It's near the town of nowhere.
I want to get a Metra set.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doesn't Kato make those?
Yeah, Kato makes them, and I was looking around just on model train stuff, and I came up. I actually realized I had a question where it was if I were to order two of the same F40, right? My conundrum was, would I get two of the same engine, same running number, or would they be smart enough to give me a different one? And then, so as people were explaining to me that it's not kind of random. There's actually every different number locomotive has a different item number, and it's sold as a different yeah.
Yeah, and you can usually they'll produce like 2 or 3 different numbers, and so when you go through and buy them, you'll buy one that is lettered for this this number, and one that's this number, or you can just buy unlettered ones and apply the numbers yourself. But yeah.
On a different note,
cool.
All right.
On a different note, going to I've just been muted. I've been here. Going to change lenses a little bit. Going to Gary's mod.
You're putting the brown lens on.
We've been putting the brown lens on. I've been doing a lot of Gary's mod lately, and I've whipped up a few locomotives so far. So far, we've got the good old GP40.
Oh, Julius, I hate to cut you off, but with this brown and yellow paint scheme you have, you have got to make a passenger consist and call it the brown streak.
Okay. Anyway, I made a G40.
That with so much just regret.
And the nice thing about the new hollow striping and hollowing E2s is the fact that I can literally just hollow all of it really easily. So most of that there's only maybe 12 props in the entire locomotive, because there's and then with parenting, all of that is maybe 5 constraints, because it's 5 constraints total, even with all of those details, and it's pretty pog. And then I also was before I was rudely interrupted to do the podcast. I was working on a standard cab, Gevo, which is cool. Anyway, that's that.
Anyway, I'd like to make a motion to kick O'Jillies off the show.
I back this notion.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
No. Oh my God.
And he's gone. No. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, excuse me. I can't stop coughing. This
still in the realm of.
Wait, O'Jillies isn't coming back.
He is back.
No, I'm back.
Oh. I didn't hear him rejoin.
He's literally right there.
I didn't hear him rejoin,
But while we're still in the realm of Gary's mod, this was probably about 3, 4 weeks ago now. I'm not really sure. I finished probably what has turned out to be my quickest Steam build. I think all told it took maybe a month, which is pretty good. Usually it takes me 2-3 months sometimes to finish an engine. But it's the second picture I have. I wish I had more of a close-up picture of it handy, but I don't. Oh well. I don't know. I might find some later. I don't know. But anyway, I built the Pennsylvania Railroad F3, which for those that don't know is a really obscure little mogul from 1902. I want to say.
Oh.
It's old as shit. Obscure as shit. I can find maybe I could find maybe two prototype photos of it, and both of them were on the blueprint I used, or on the drawing I used. So most of the reference photos I have are brass models. So I don't know.
Well,
when you said F3,
but the only thing I wanted to say was that those box cars have an excruciating amount of detail.
Oh, yeah, the ones behind. Oh, yeah, that's...
Wait, where are those?
What? TV, you kind of cut out for me. Wait, what'd you say?
Where are the box cars? I want to see.
They're in Jader's second picture. The Gary's mod. Steam engine.
Those are from, I forget what pack, but something people have been doing recently is basically porting like old MSTS models and old open Rails models that you can't find anywhere else. So there's not really it's not really a big deal with copyright or anything. They've basically been porting those into Gary's mod and then putting them in add-on packs, so we can have like really, especially for Gary's mod, really detailed freight trains that don't have a huge impact on the server because you don't have all these different text hollows and numbers and all this stuff. It's just a skin basically. So when you have one of those cars, it's 3 props, 2 constraints, very simple.
Wow.
And they look pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Bears, I cut you off a minute ago. What were you trying to say?
So when it said F3, my mind immediately drifted off to the pencil, not the pencil, like the EMD F3s. Because that's the first thing I think of when I hear the word
honestly,
F3.
Me too.
It's secretly an F3. There's a diesel prime mover hidden in the boiler.
Now, I do kind of want to say, it is impressive at how far the Gmod guys have come in terms of being able to really detail their engines while keeping things optimized for the server. Like, I remember back in the day, everything used to have to be welded, and all the welds would just lag everything to shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, you guys figured out how to hollow things, and that drastically lowered your prop counts, which made things run even smoother. And now there's these just pre-skinned cars and everything. That's pretty cool. And you guys have adapted and overcome and
God damn it, dude.
improvise, overcome, adapt.
I mean, you're exactly
cool.
right. Yeah, you're exactly right. I remember those days where if you were going to run or build Steam, it had to be like an empty server or nobody else can do anything. Now it's like we could have, and I haven't been there for it, but on Golden Spike, we've had 5-6 Steam engines out running around at once, and the server barely feels it. So eventually we're going to try to do Steam ops. And with how optimized things are now, and I wish I had pictures, or maybe I do. I don't know. No, I don't. Shit, they're on the desktop. But with TrackPack 3 that just came out, it's, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, Gmod is becoming more and more like a train simulator, but not exactly a train simulator with every new major, advancement that we get.
It's definitely come a long way from thruster-powered trains.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing with Gary's mod is that because it's not a dedicated train sim, is that you can still do stupid shit. You can still weld thrusters to stuff and just dick around. Or when we were filming To Rule the World, we just dicked around for a while. You can't in a train sim. You can, but it's not as fun.
Yeah. That filming was the one time, that was my one loading into Gary's mod for this year, but it was not the only related thing that I've done, even despite the fact that I've been 99% in my house and have not booted into trains or anything. What I have done, though, is in pursuit of a more perfect Locomotive Versus, I actually got in contact with the guys who run SteamLocomotive.com, and I'm, for the past week or so, I've been trying to put together a solid stat sheet to show them as an example of this is what we can, give to you to contribute to your site. I haven't had the chance to actually finish doing that, and I would like to, but it's a lot of scratching my head over the power formulas in Excel. But it was extremely exciting to hear back from both the person who manages the website and the person who manages Locobase itself. And actually receiving their their praise over coming up with and developing locomotive verses in Loco Royale.
Yeah, they were impressed at the fact they were like, we never had thought, our system would be used for a game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so cool. I'm looking forward to getting back to them, and I need to finish up that email. But we get to the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to be doing that right now. Anyway, that's really all that I've done. Is there anything else anyone else wants to cover, Bears? I know you haven't really been able to speak up.
Well, I now have Trains 2019, if that counts.
Yes! A direct upgrade from all of the previous versions.
Yeah, I mostly did that mostly because I was having. Oh my!
What?
Sorry, I cracked up because I saw that image Ace Rail posted where it was freaking Oscar from Evangelion. Just I don't even know.
Anyway,
as what I was trying to say, I upgraded Trains 2019 because so many other people seem to be just moving on from Trains A New Era, like making content for that. And just went up to Trains 2019, so I figure might as well.
Yes, because 2019 is clearly the superior platform.
I mean, it is, though. There's, no reason not to get it.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's moving up. It's because...
I had to get an external hard drive for my computer, though, so I could actually fit all the crap I installed onto it.
Yes. Listen, that just means that you are... creating a good library is what the word is. There's no such thing as too much content. There's no such thing as enough content. It's just more content.
Yeah.
No kidding. Like if I need something, I ask Kevon. Kevon has everything. Kevon has everything.
I need to get an external hard drive. I've thought about like getting one. And then go down to school, do all the downloading we're going to need, like War Thunder and Trains and whatever, and then bring it home and just transfer it to my desktop because my download speed is just slow. Would that work? Off topic, but would that work with War Thunder? Or would it still have to download to the desktop if it came from an external drive?
You should be able to install it somewhere else.
You should be able to install it to an external drive.
I mean, I have my, I have my regular hard drive, I have a C drive, which is where a lot of things are, but I try to clear it out every once in a while and move stuff onto North Korea, Best Korea, which is my second drive.
What?
Like the other one I installed. I haven't done War Thunder because it would take 3 years to re-download it or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's a thing you can do.
I'm going to have to try it, because I want to play War Thunder. And I haven't played it in like 3 months, but
I haven't played it in a long time, and I don't want to play it.
Fair enough.
I haven't played it.
Get one,
but I keep getting my daily.
Yo, really? What day are you on now?
I'm in the 1800s. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, let's just keep the streak alive.
I log in once a day.
Snapchat streaks have nothing on that.
Exactly. It's what prepared me for Snapchat streaks, really.
I've waited my entire life for this moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, if that's all that we've done that's particularly interesting in the past few weeks, then it's time to move on.
Wait.
What? You've got a caboose. I saw a caboose.
Well, this doesn't really relate to the caboose. I just took the picture because it looks cool. It's been sitting in the corner of the engine house for a while. I'd like to see it out this year, maybe. I mean, we're already working on one of these cars. Might as well work on another one. And then the other one that we have, it just needs cleaned. Anyway, let's see. I'll start with what I want to do, and that relates to the first two pictures. Those are, I'm assuming, as far as I know, the only two handcars that we have on property.
The fact
yeah, I have no idea where they came from. I haven't really dug that deep into the research of these yet.
Is that a motor mounted to one of them?
No. The other,
Okay.
they've basically just been kind of used as like storage platforms for a while.
Mm-hmm. So it's
But
just a motor sitting on one.
yeah, but they, as far as I know, they both work. At least the one with the yellow on the handles, that Josh cleaned that up a few years ago, and we kind of had the idea to offer, and probably start it this year because that wouldn't really cost anything. Offer handcar rides to the public. Like if they show up early and the train's not there yet, or they don't want to get on the train yet and just sit there, they want to actually do something.
Mhm.
They can go with an attendant, up and back from. We're not really sure how far yet. Like I had one idea, Josh had another idea. We haven't really gone that far with it. But basically, we just want to offer handcar rides to the public maybe sometime this year. And at least in my head, this works because it wouldn't cost anything.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe like some oil or something and new paint for these, but that's it. It's not like running an extra engine or an extra train or something.
Okay. I just want to throw this out there. I know this is the wrong section. You can give me a point if you want. But news just came into Terminus News that less than an hour ago, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania was on fire.
What?
Oh,
Allegedly, anyway.
arsonist moment.
There's a picture of some ambulances and some fire trucks outside, and some firefighters on the roof. It doesn't look like it burned down or anything. It's just something happened.
How does a railroad museum catch on fire?
Oh, how does anything?
Electrical malfunction.
Somebody
Honestly, may
Any way that any normal building catches on fire.
okay.
I mean, you
don't
do
have to
think
make
about
me
there
feel
might
dumb.
I mean, if you think about it, there may not be a lot of flammable stuff, but at the same time, there are like wooden coaches and stuff inside.
Yeah, it's there's valuable stuff inside, but it could have been like an electrical problem. Probably
Yeah.
was, because I'd assume they're not operating anything.
Well, they're not operating anything now, but
I was fixing wires in electrical.
I don't know.
Right. That's
I don't know.
sus, dude. I was in there.
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
I'll walk by. I didn't see anybody. But yeah, so then, Jader, what you need to do is you tie both of the hand trucks together, and you tie a car of gravel to the end of the last one, and then you have people pay to pull that car of gravel along and get swole. Basically, you've started a gym membership, is what you're doing.
Get swole.
Yeah.
That's another story an idea I had the other day, but I'll save that for like off the air or something. But it's
Okay.
basically a 12K on a handcar is what it would be if I could do it.
Oh my god. Okay. Well.
And then the last picture, that's just one of the cabooses, and I learned that all three of the Xeno cabooses we have, they're all different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, this one and IO 704, they're like the same type, but this one's more original because it still has dark bar trucks. The other one has just regular freight car trucks, and then the one that's becoming a power car, that's got roller bearings. So they're all different, and I love it.
I learned that
I want to see us use them more.
I learned that the New Haven caboose near me is not a New Haven caboose.
And
What is it?
It's an ex-Pennsy C8. Because it was brought up with Penn Central.
We have an N5 that's just sitting in the deadline.
Or yeah, and
N5C with the portholes.
Oh, okay. No, it's one of the ones with square windows.
Okay.
I learned that the new 7000 series cars that are coming out onto the CTA really soon, actually. That instead of having they still have the route maps on there, yes, but they have a live LED or LCD screen of the route that will move along with you as you move along the route. And I think that's going to be that'll be pretty neat to see.
I love how much you love these new cars.
Dude, I love the CTA.
Alright, are we ready? Is it time?
Ready?
Who's gonna do it?
I'm here. I'm back.
Locomotive versus!
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
And on this episode of this time, we're doing one that I proposed in the middle of a Loco Royale, which is
And the
Red Devil.
And the one that isn't in the United States.
Yeah, none of these are in the U.S. This is the Red Devil, which is a South African Railways 484, versus the AA-20, which everyone should know what the AA-20 is.
A freaking big mama, the non-articulated.
Straightener.
If you don't know what that is, go to Google. No, Bears,
Or go to
you said
Google. Just go on Google and look it up.
Yeah, well, Bears, you said you're going to represent the AA-20?
Correct.
Alright, get me your image of choice. Does anybody want to do the Red Devil, or should I?
You should, because you're the Red Devil.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think I resent that.
Well, this is the only colorized photo I could find of it, even if it's just a drawing.
Dude.
Yeah, there are not, to my knowledge, any
That's probably because it only ran one time and was in storage for most of its life.
Yeah, you know.
That was just up and scrapped.
Fun fact, I have a book called The Lore of the Train, and in that book, there is a part on the AA-20. And
why?
Why? Because, I mean, this book it's about, like, the history, like, from the very first steam engine all the way up to, like, transition era stuff. It's a pretty neat book, but in there's a little segment on the AA-20 where it mentions that they used it to haul coal.
That's what they wanted to use it for anyway. I don't know how much it actually got to do that.
It's so impractical.
It is, yeah, that's the word for it. Alright, so, Locomotive Versus. Let me grab my stat sheet, and you grab yours, and we won't look at
Alright.
because that's the way it goes. Like I said, I am bringing the Red Devil, which is... It's a 3'6" engine. It's not very big, but it is very modern.
Wasn't it in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3?
It was in Railroad Tycoon 3.
Did I say roller coaster?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Oh my god, I meant railroad.
They're both technically.
I should have just said yes and let people figure it out. But anyway, alright, so who do you guys think should go first?
The red one.
Which red one?
That doesn't answer the question, Jader.
Honestly, I think the Red Devils should go first, seeing as it is smaller, and I would like it to get ahead first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's... Yeah,
It's got no match against Chunky.
yeah, alright, so let's...
Power stats.
Yeah, let's start with some weight-related things.
Oh, God.
Oh, actually, that might be a mistake. I just was gonna ask one of them, but I'm not sure if I want to now. Alright, let's just do weight on drivers.
Alright.
He's got a lot of drivers.
Am I going first, or are you going first?
Yes, what's your weight on
Okay.
drivers?
308,560.
Okay,
Jeez.
167,551 pounds.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
All
this is, hopefully this is how it's gonna go.
That's it. Oh.
Red on red violence. Alright, what's your engine weight?
458,435.
271,168 pounds. So, easy. GG easy. Alright, what is your total engine and tender weight?
733,935.
Okay. 249. Oh, sorry, 520,290 pounds. Okay. Okay. All right. What is your tender loaded weight?
275,500.
That's closer than I wanted it to be. 249,122 pounds. Okay, 4-0. Oh, I'm sweating bullets.
Getting sweaty over local versus.
Getting sweaty.
Sweaty.
Sweaty balls.
I wasn't going to be the one to say it.
Alright, well, let's not do that. What is your driver wheelbase?
Driver wheelbase.
Mm-hmm.
32.97.
1575.
Alright.
Alright, what is your engine wheelbase?
5692.
3799.
Over
And
20
finally,
feet longer.
What is your overall wheelbase?
Okay, overall wheelbase. 145.
Oh, 8140. Alright, so there's that. So we have pretty firmly established that this engine is, in fact, smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some thoughts that are like, oh, this might be a dangerous question. Let's do... I'm sort of running out of stats that are guarantees. Well, that doesn't help me any.
Did I make a mistake in choosing this?
I mean, probably not. We've got to get to the part where you're gonna crush me, though.
Oh, God.
So let's do. Screw it. This one might actually hurt me because you have so many more axles. But what is your minimum weight of rail?
73.
Oh yes, 70.
73. Well, wait, it's
That is remarkably close. Okay, then, do you have
20
axle
wheels.
loading?
Axle loading, okay. 44,092.
43,233.
Why is this so close?
Because he
Yeah,
has a
that's what I wanna
gajillion
know.
axles! Look at him!
It's freaking like, you know what this literally
It's
makes
ridiculous.
the Union Road 010-2 look like a tank engine, like a Baltimore and Ohio C16. It makes it look like that.
Okay, alright, that's not gonna help me. What do I do? Alright, power MT.
All right, power MT.
Mm-hmm.
1,298.7.
No! 1,125.79. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That is foreboding for me, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, alright, you're up. Whatever you're gonna do to me, start doing it.
All right. Okay, so here's my first question. And what year were you built?
That was a really bad question. 1981.
1935.
Okay, I win.
All right.
So,
You win by a lot.
yeah, no, this is a very new locomotive. That's what makes it special.
What is your factor of adhesion?
You don't get to ask questions right now because I won.
Oh, sorry.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain
Also,
now,
why
yeah.
would... I'm sorry, but why would you ask that?
Because I have nothing better to ask.
Alright,
Yeah, you do.
you know what? This might screw me over. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Effing metric too, with the tubes and flues. I have no idea if it's gonna be good for me or not.
I don't know.
Okay, evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume. Bottom of heating ability.
4,823.
No. Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume. The one at the bottom of the list.
Okay, cylinder. 196.7.
Yes. Oh. 211.44. I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not. Hooray, that saves me for another 30 seconds while I come up with something else to lose in. Alright, you know what? I really have no idea about this because my sense of scale is way off and this is a drawing. What is your driver diameter?
Driver diameter. 63.
Damn it! Alright, 60. I was like, I know
You were
there's small
kidding about it being
drivers.
30 seconds.
60? Well, wait, 3'6" gauge.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, you're up, Bears.
Alright. What is your boiler pressure in PSI?
229.20.
246.60.
Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't going to go well for me. I don't know why this thing has such a low boiler pressure, despite being very modern.
Alright. High pressure cylinders.
Okay. Oh boy. 24.02 by 27.99, because metric.
29.13 by 31.89.
Holy Moses!
Honestly, I can't help but wonder. Yeah, it is. Can't help but wonder just what would have happened if this locomotive design was actually successful.
Well, we would have had a lot straighter railroads.
Yeah, probably. Oh,
What
God.
is curve, comrade?
Now I can imagine a freaking Union Pacific version.
It doesn't need to turn, comrade. It will drive straight to Berlin.
We drive straight through hills.
Alright, anyway.
All right.
And then
Come
all
at
the
me,
way to
bro.
Paris.
Since I'm kind, I'll skip track of effort and factor of adhesion. All right. What is your firebox area?
Oh, since you're kind, huh? Firebox area. 249 square feet. Or sorry,
All right.
294, but whatever.
595.40.
Yeah, I get the feeling. I got the feeling that my mistake did not matter.
Right.
Because you can fit 3 Alma centers in there.
And grade area?
Great area is 69, nice, 0.29.
Nice.
100,
Nice.
129.20.
Also like twice as much. Wow, he's catching up.
All right. Right. Heating surface.
Superheating surface, or what do you say? Which one did you say?
Superheating.
Is he breaking up for everybody
Superheating
else?
surface.
Superheating surface. Alright, thank you. Sorry, you broke up the first 2 times. That wasn't great. Superheating surface is
Sorry.
1014. 1014.
1873.
Holy crap. It's okay, I still think I have this in style points.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Did you already do combined heating surface?
No.
All right. Then what is your combined heating surface?
My combined heating surface is 4118.
6696.
Okay.
All right. Robert Massena computation. How's that for you?
Alright, Robert Limsey's power computation. Mine is 15,881.
31,861.
I actually expected it to be in the 40s. Ugh. Okay.
All right. Okay, so trying to think like. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask the really stupid question. What is your factor of adhesion?
Oh no. It's not good. It's 3.2.
Oof.
Well, it's still better than mine. 3.43.
No, that's better.
What?
3.43 is better than 3.2. You're trying to get close to 4.
Honestly, I was
So.
expecting it to have much worse than that.
I was expecting the A20 to be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah,
Honestly, considering the fact there was a turntable breaker, I would have expected it too.
You fit on a turntable?
Hang on, let me look. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Apparently it was too big, and basically.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have thunk? Okay,
I'm-
what is the factor of adhesion? No, like
Factor
It
of
is-
adhesion.
Factor of adhesion is weight on drivers divided by tractive effort. The goal is you're trying to get close to
4.
like the coefficient of friction of steel on steel, so you slip less.
Right.
Anyway, so
All right.
yeah, you're still up. We also have enough points
Fluid
to go to
tube
style
length.
points. What?
Fluid tube length.
Fluid tube length is 19 feet.
Length? No, God.
22.96.
Yeah, I was gonna say 22. Just miles.
There's a fight!
Honestly, I feel bad for basically destroying you at this rate.
Oh!
Just wait until style points.
All right, I'll just go on to the other stupid question that you'll probably ultimately win in.
Oh, we lost you again.
How
He's just
you were
pausing for a
built.
minute.
We both have just one.
How? How the hell?
Because it was a special. Why would you
The
ask
Red
that
Devil was
question?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out ways for you to actually dwarf me at this point.
Oh, I'll get there. Don't worry. You don't need to help. You don't need to help me.
If you want
just
to help
need to
the
pull
other
up a
guy,
All right.
win.
Infographic, but you know what? I win that. I have the ball. Let's go to style points. Unless, is there anything that people in the audience want to ask? Everyone
I
gets one.
I do have a question.
I do.
Oh, sorry. T-Bo was asking first.
What is your tender
All right.
loaded weight?
We did that.
No?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Mine
It
was
was
249, 122.
275,500.
Yeah.
Heavy.
We did do
Okay.
that.
What about capacity?
Anything else?
We didn't do capacity. Do you want... Wait. Do you want water or coal?
Coal.
Okay. So, I can hold 22 tons of coal.
And I can haul 24 tons.
Not a
Damn.
surprise.
Not a surprise, but it close. It was close.
But close. Alright, Jader, what's yours?
What is your local base ID?
Oh, Christ.
Low 418. Oh, yeah, that was the local base.
What was it?
4818.
4818. Yes! 3084.
What about number built?
We just did that. We each had one.
Oh.
1.
Achilles, you get a question if you have one.
I don't have one.
Alright. Okay, then let me riddle you this. This Red Devil is a good engine. It's a pretty damn good engine. For starters, I have elephant ears. I have 2 stacks, for some reason. I have a Master Mechanic's front end. I have, I'm just looking at, like, the thing of, there's a gas producer combustion system. I'm pretty sure I have roller bearings all the way around. Because
Dude, you're like very new. I'm sure you probably have a power reverse. You probably have a booster.
Well, yeah. Well, I would hope he also has a power reverse because. So already
Stupid-
that puts me
Hang
5
on one
points
second.
up.
I think I know what's causing my internet to act up.
Oh, okay. Well, I have I feel like I should get the paint point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, paint point for sure. Mine
Yeah.
literally looks like a German locomotive.
Well, it is Russian.
Well, if you say, don't say that too loudly, you'll end up in the gulag.
It's blending in.
Oh.
It
Preparing
has
for, the thing.
the gas produced compressor system. That's what it was.
Dude, are there rods on the? Do the rods on the front of the A20 like? You see them sticking out of the cylinders, like on the front? Do they
Yeah, those
move?
Oh yeah,
Do they move forward and back?
Yeah, those are for counterbalancing. That's a point. He gets a point for that. He also gets a point because he has
What the?
ditch lights.
His ditch lights.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
So yeah. There's that.
Looks like the A. I don't know. I was gonna say something about an all-weather cab, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it does have an all-weather cab. Also has way more sand capacity than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing about the AA-20 compared to the Red Devil as far as the images go, the Red Devil is basically like, in terms of its looks, the Red Devil is basically not the Red Devil. Okay, I'm just gonna skip what I was about the Red Devil. The AA-20 looks like a freaking torpedo in terms of its boiler,
Yeah, it looks cool.
like boiler and smoke box combined.
Also, I have I believe I have a better smoke box door. Yeah, based on this image anyway.
I would think Ellis can get a point for the it looked more like a diesel headlight, but the headlight.
Dude, it's like it looks off-center as hell.
Well, it's because it has two lenses, and you're only seeing the reflection in one of them. I don't know why it has two lenses, though. Also, I don't think I have a booster.
Dual beam headlight. That should be a point.
Headlight. Sure. I mean, I'll take it.
More
I think
light.
I gave him the point for the all-weather cab.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Man, I don't know what else there is off the top of my head. Right now, it's 20 to 16.
Smoke deflectors.
Yeah, I already grabbed that one.
Oh, okay.
It looks like you have an upside down Western Maryland fireball on your.
You do.
I mean, but he also has a name, so I mean, as far as style goes, I'll take the point for that.
All right, acrylic translator. I need to get the Russian translator out to see what that says.
Good luck.
So I'm guessing it probably
like,
says something like Soviet Union.
Looks like Ahab.
I mean, good luck typing some of those characters.
All right. Okay. Online Russian.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could
Get
into it.
For the Red
I wish
Devil.
I knew more, but I mean,
Doesn't
honestly,
have-
look up the Red Devil. It's a really cool engine.
Style point for the Red Devil. You don't have buffers. Knuckle couplers are superior.
I mean, yeah, but he also
The
has a
A20
knuckle.
also has knuckles.
Yeah.
Shit. But,
Technically, the A20 should get a style point for both.
Actually, having buffers, as long as you have a knuckle coupler, sure.
Okay, so this didn't really turn out in my favor at all because
Oh no.
I used Yandex translator to translate it, and apparently the translation according to it is Andreev, Andrev, which I'm pretty sure is inaccurate.
Oh,
maybe
wait,
that's
no,
with
is
the
that the...
designer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's, yeah.
That would make sense. Like it's
Could just be the name of the
Andreev
railroad.
20 or that. Yeah.
Also, I survive. And I'm pretty
you
sure I
did.
still operate.
And whereas the AA-20, it ran once, and that was stored for about 25 years before being scrapped.
Yeah. Alright, well, I don't know what else
Sounds
can
like
be thrown
Russian.
in here.
watch. It's like mothballed in Siberia somewhere.
Yeah, it still is. It's still there.
The line.
Uh,
It still runs. It's so far out of the way, nobody knows about it.
yeah. All right. Well, I think that's as far as we're going to get.
Yeah.
The points. I'm kind of not surprised that it turned out like this, but it does maybe surprise me a little bit how outclassed I really was in terms of power. I mean, obviously I'm an narrow gauge engine, but it is just much newer.
Yeah.
23 to 18.
You cannot
I think
compete with the might of the Soviet Union.
Dude, the Red Devil's it's like a standard gauge engine, but not.
Yeah, I mean it's cute. It's a good looking engine. You guys get to cast your votes now, though.
I vote Red Devil all
I-
the way.
Red Devil.
I think I'm going with the Red Devil.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. No pity for the.
Actually,
For
you
the
know what?
other
No,
Reds.
you know what? I'll give you pity, Ellis. I'll go with you out of pity.
That okay.
Wait, what?
All right.
Wait.
What?
Wait, what?
All right.
Did I mix my people up?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
okay
sorry.
though.
That's whatever.
Red Devil's superior.
Okay, so on to the news. I'm glad we could get that. Oh, I need to move this up and out of the way. 3713 versus the P44. I will crush it one of these days. I just need to do it when Weibold is not around.
All right.
Didn't we do that like not long ago?
He wouldn't let me do that. But I looked at Jader's things and I was like, oh, the Amtrak, and then I realized that's not mine because you have all the
Huh.
Ohio stuff.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
Half ago now?
Go for it.
Amtrak has proposed to start up 5 routes in Ohio. I remember I was just checking the phone at like 3 a.m, couldn't sleep. See this in my, I think it was in my email, like somebody in her train club sent it or something. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, am I, what the hell's going on right now?
Did you have to
Nope,
pinch
this is
yourself to
legit.
see if you were dreaming or not?
Yeah. and this is legit. I think it actually has legs this time.
Well, we have the right
I
people
hope
in
so.
office.
Yeah, I hope so. Because for the love of God,
So,
we need it.
where would they, what's the 5 routes for Ohio? That's impressive.
I mean,
Where
look at the
would
map.
they-
It's pretty cool.
They would have
I will look at that, but let's talk about it.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, they're going to have 5 routes.
So it
there'll
looks
be-
like Cleveland's going to be the hub.
Yeah, which that totally makes sense. There's already 2 routes that run out of there. It's a good Cleveland makes sense. It makes sense.
It does,
but what?
but their station is trash and one platform, and so they're probably going to need to do some upgrades before they can run multiple services out of there.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's
it'll
what-
happen.
Yeah, that's what I've tried to figure out. Like, I mean, they're going to need to, unless they just try to use existing stations, they're going to need to build a lot of new stations.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's, like, okay, so the routes. Okay. So there's the 3C1, there's, on the 3C corridor, there's the Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, and Cincinnati, which at least from the map, it looks like they're going to use the CSX BERT line, which I think would work because it's not abandoned or anything, but they hardly use it. Like, I think they run maybe 1 train a day or something. So I have a feeling it wouldn't be too much trouble to get Amtrak on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe. So there's that. There's Cleveland, Indianapolis to Chicago. There's Cleveland, Detroit, or Cleveland, Toledo, Detroit, and Pontiac. So up along the lake, that would be awesome. Sort of take the train to Cedar Point if you wanted, if they stopped in Sandusky, which I would think they would, but I'm not sure. Yeah, 3 daily round trips with intermediate stops. Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, Buffalo, Albany, and New York, so it'd be easier to get to Go see Ellis.
Hi.
Well, sort. Well, yeah. Take it.
Bro,
to
you
New
could
York and
also
take-
come see me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I could actually go visit people and wouldn't have to fucking drive.
I mean, Cleveland, Buffalo, Albany, New York would be helpful, but the Lakeshore Unlimited is still the better choice because it takes you all the way to Boston. But it does make life a little bit
Right.
easier.
Yeah, and then Cleveland, Pittsburgh, New York. That one, I just like it all. I really hope it works, and I'm just optimistic about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think we have the right people in office, at least on the federal level, to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys would probably get all the latest equipment as well. Like, you'd probably get
Chargers,
and the new coaches.
Buckeye
and-
Charger, please.
Buckeye Charger. It would happen. It would totally happen.
Dude,
yeah. If they can have a Seahawks unit, they can have a Buckeyes unit. I just,
See, they need to have, what they should do is just have units with like all different Ohio colleges on them.
I actually just found a very sad picture.
Oh, what?
I'm posting it now.
I was gonna say what they. Oh no, not that. The Pacific.
Oh.
What did he
Right.
post?
Oh.
But while we look at that and
Oh.
be sad,
Wasn't there like a similar one in Britain?
I mean, that happened all over the place, unfortunately. Which is why it's tough to, railroad services, train services, trolley services, etc. They're very much easy go, very difficult come.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kind of
This
thing
America,
that is
haha,
turned around
cargo
immediately.
brother.
If we recall, and I know I love harping on this, but the service along the Gulf Coast that was there with the Sunset Limited and now no longer is for the past 16 years after Hurricane
Pretty
Katrina.
good.
Mayor Pete, who is our transportation secretary, has gone, or is planning to go to the Gulf Coast and sort of, drum up support, etc., etc. And that is not the only thing that he's been saying. In fact, Pete Buttigieg wants the U.S. to be a leader in high-speed rail. I don't know how that's going to work out, but he went on, he went on The Readout, which I don't actually know what that is, but some sort of talk show, to discuss the future of high-speed rail in the U.S. It's interesting to see that this discussion about a lot of these high-speed corridors or the smaller corridors like would be in Ohio, where we have, you're basically following the game plan that previous CEOs of Amtrak had laid out in terms of wanting to do small corridors, because A, they're useful, and B, they make money sometimes. But also, following along with, we also want the larger services. In one of the articles about the Ohio stuff, I believe somebody did mention bringing back the National Limited, and that would be a really good idea.
That I didn't see, but yes, we need that.
Yeah, and that wasn't mentioned at the governmental level, but if we're doing all that work in that area, that's the kind of thing that should be looked at. I mean, the National originally went from New York City to, I believe, St. Louis.
They're Kansas City, but pretty much the same thing.
But this article has been, there's another article about St. Louis, and this isn't anything that's necessarily government sponsored, but it's somebody trying to come up with some good ideas. And they're not bad ideas. I mean, it's sort of like the Ohio plan, where you want to throw in all these smaller regional routes that could be quite useful and could even make money, maybe. And, oh yeah, this is where they mentioned the National Limited. So, that was, St. Louis, through Cincinnati, through Cumberland, although Amtrak later routed it through Pittsburgh, Washington, Baltimore, all the way up the corridor to New York City. Now, it's just, now that Amtrak and the federal government is a little bit more willing to put money forth and study these kinds of things, there's been a lot more conversation about expanding Amtrak, which is important. Like, with COVID still sort of hanging out, the vaccine's being distributed, but we still have to deal with it. We don't know exactly when we'll be getting back to normal, and we already went on enough about Amtrak cutting back service to, 3 times a week, stuff like that. Now, the CEO of Amtrak, Bill Flynn, wrote to Congress and outlined his top 5 priorities. Let's go over these. 1, sufficient funding. That's a big one, especially with COVID.
Of course it is. Money's always the biggest one.
It is a big one. And not only that, but he says sufficient funding to sustain and restore operations and recall employees through the remainder of financial year 21. So this year, Bill Flynn wants to basically bring Amtrak back up to full strength, back to where it was before the pandemic.
Well, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wants an intercity passenger rail trust fund, which Amtrak and intercity passenger rail are the only mode of surface transportation without a federal trust fund to provide reliable multi-year program funding. In other words, the Amtrak budget is a question every single year, and it shouldn't be. Access to railroads for new service and adding trains. Basically, and this 3 and 4 sort of go together. So access to railroads and preference enforcement, which is basically let us run on freight track when we need to, and make sure that we're prioritized like we're supposed to be. So, and number 5
UP
is...
laps.
Yeah, number 5... We're getting closer. We're getting a little bit closer, thankfully. Number 5 is new routes. So, frequent and reliable corridor routes. They've developed a visionary plan to expand service across the nation, and they ask Congress to authorize and fund Amtrak's expansion in such corridors by allowing them to cover most of the initial capital and operating costs of new or expanded routes prior to requiring state partner cost sharing. So basically, let the federal government help us build this before we start turning to the states. Because, as we sort of mentioned last time, and yes, it comes with a cost, but as long as you're not doing it to ridiculous ends, it's not going to be, a catastrophe. The states can be strapped for cash, whereas the federal government can just sort of fund things. They hold all the purse strings. They can just sort of do what they want. And Amtrak showed up in a Trains Magazine article talking about what they mean when they ask for this money, which was point number 1. And that means they want to override the metrics used to determine decisions on long-distance train frequencies. And in other words, it means that we want to go back to once-a-day service everywhere like we had it, ignoring the rules that we put in place when we shut it down. And also, they have the wish list items I just talked about. Yeah, they would allow... the funding would be to bring the trains back daily, keep employees where trains are still not operating at pre-COVID levels, which is like the regional lines, and, basically that's it. They want to bring the trains back, and they want to keep paying their employees, no matter what the situation is. So, that's what they just asked for. We'll see if Congress lets them have it.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I hope this actually goes through, because last time they tried it, Kasich said nope.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, we'll see. There are actually 2 more Amtrak things that I can run over real quick. No pun intended. Because we don't actually have any of those. The Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority, which is the one out in Montana, they became an official organization a few weeks ago. And Rob Eaton, who heads government affairs and state-supported service for Amtrak, told the board there will be a lot of questions to be answered as the authority moves forward. And Amtrak will work with BNSF and Montana Rail Link to iron out how freighted passenger service will share this track. That they've already started doing informal meetings. So, yeah, it's moving. This ball is rolling. I mean, it's been rolling since before COVID, before the election, before anything like that. If anything was going to happen with an Amtrak or passenger rail expansion, it was going to be in Montana. But Wisconsin is also looking to expand a little bit. This would be a Twin Cities route. Passenger rail service between, how do you pronounce that? Eau Claire? Eclair?
Euclair.
I'm going to go with Eclair, because I'm kind of hungry. The system would expand passenger rail service into western Wisconsin and the Chippewa Valley along the Interstate 94 corridor, basically putting in a small relatively small intercity service along I-94, mostly just to get traffic off of the highway, which is what you ought to be doing. New rail commission's duties could include identifying corridor improvements necessary to support passenger rail service between the region and the Twin Cities, as well as to Madison and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago. So, this might be another Chicago connection. We'll have to see what that turns into. That seems very preliminary, but it's no more preliminary than Ohio or St. Louis even. So, or I should have said those in the opposite direction. So that, I think, is everything. Oh wait, sorry, one more. Burlington. This is just in Burlington, Vermont. They're looking to bring the, I believe, the Ethan Allen into Burlington. Yeah, and it should show up at the beginning of 2022, or maybe even the end of this year, and they need to relocate a bike path and shift some stuff around, and they're doing that. So the previously planned expansions, they're underway as well.
Speaking
as
of,
farmers, we should all be happy. What did you say?
Well, I was just going to say on the note of expansions, Scale Trains expanded and purchased MTH's HO and S gauge tooling.
Oh boy!
I won't get rid of the link yet. I need to click on it.
Oh.
No, I hadn't clicked on it yet.
You fool!
Okay, you're good now.
Okay.
So they bought a bunch of tooling from the now defunct MTH, specifically their HO and S scale tooling, basically guaranteeing that Scale Trains is going to expand into S scale, which is a little bit interesting.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And so that'll enable them to produce things like a K4, I believe. K4, a big boy, SD70s, stuff like that, as well as some nice S-gauge stuff. They said in the video that they would not have any releases until next year because they have to update all the tooling to be Scale Train standards.
Right.
But it's coming. It's coming.
No, and Julius, I told this to you when we watched it happen, but that's really good for Scale Trains to see that they're growing like this, and that they're going to be able to expand their inventory, I guess you could call it, because as it stands now, sure, Scale Trains makes fantastic models, but they only do a few things. Like they don't have quite a variety of products like, let's say, Bachmann or anything like that. But this, with them acquiring all this new stuff, there's going to be another competitor in the market for your Alcos and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what happens with it all.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's a pretty major thing too. And it wasn't the only acquisition that happened in the past couple of weeks, although this is, you might measure it as being a little bit bigger. Alstom finished its acquisition of Bombardier, or at least I believe their railroad portions, which is a huge deal. Now, huge by the dollar signs too. That's about $6.7 billion. And that makes Alstom the largest rail manufacturer. The second largest rail manufacturer in the world. Now, there are two things that can happen. Either Alstom uses this newfound reach to expand rapidly and become much, suck up a much greater portion of the market share, or Bombardier's cruddy quality control takes Alstom down with it. Bombardier has had a lot of issues when it comes to trains showing up and not running like they're supposed to. Hopefully this helps. We will have to see. I'm thinking at the very least this will... I'm hoping at the very least this makes sure that future Bombardier-esque products, from all the American and worldwide transit agencies that purchase Bombardier products, hopefully this will let them have a little bit more quality control. It won't be such a crapshoot, and we won't be sitting here groaning every time somebody orders something from this company. Because it happens just about every time. It's kind of outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else that might be considered outrageous, but no huge surprise, is that Union Pacific is allowed to break their contract with Palestine. I believe this is Palestine, Texas? Yeah. So, a judge said that the contract that was made back in 1872 is no longer valid, and that UP is allowed to shut down its offices, machine shops, etc. in the city. UP will retain 65 employees, but that's not a lot.
No, it isn't.
No. Yeah.
Just intimate BSR, I guess.
Yeah, it's just another closure. It's kind of interesting that they had this written agreement, and part of me wishes that it had been upheld, but it's also been 150 years almost. Sometimes something's a little out of date. But, hey. They weren't the only railroad with a local win this past stretch. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with me right now. Hopedale, Massachusetts is host to part of the Grafton and Upton Railroad, which is a local regional line which has somehow managed not to be snapped up by the Orange Plague or any of these other railroad, collectors. But it has to do with development, about 130 acres, that the railroad... Well, the railroad already runs through that area, but they wanted to maybe expound upon it a little bit, maybe develop it a little bit, and the town of Hopedale didn't really want them to do that. It's mostly undeveloped, completely undeveloped land, I believe. Either that or it was abandoned. Hopedale is going to get about 85 acres, and the railroad would not be allowed to develop another section for about 5 years, and the rest of it went to the railroad. So they will be able to do what they want with it.
On the note of things not being allowed, there are a number of towns all trying to stop the reopening of Tennessee Pass. There's a lot of people trying to stop the reopening of Tennessee Pass.
Why?
Because they don't want it.
Because NIMBYs.
For example, Avon, Colorado, will pay half of the legal fees on the possible challenge of the Tennessee Pass deactivation. They're going to pay half of the fees of one particular suit, which is a lot of money. And I think that the article from Real Vale summarizes it best. Lawyers, guns, and money. Colorado Railroad wars heat up over Tennessee Pass.
Just to clarify, they're mostly referencing the Royal Gorge War. Nobody's brought out any guns yet.
Correct.
I've seen this one.
So the STB actually delayed the lease of the Tennessee Pass line. So it was initially supposed to take place on the 30th of last month, but they delayed it by, I believe, 30 some odd days. probably 30 days while they let the people decide what they want to do. And that was to make time for cities like Avon and a bunch of others to get their legal fees together, get their legal teams together because they don't want it. For some reason. Basically, Avon says that they've kind of moved past the need for trains. They don't want them there, and that's pretty much the same thing for everyone, that they've gotten used to the quietness and the not trains of not having trains, and they don't want them to be reopened. Pretty generic stuff, and that's about that. That's about all there really is.
Pretty generic NIMBYs. This is not just the case on Tennessee Pass. In fact, it's also the case in everyone's favorite state, New Jersey. And God forbid, New Jersey. I cannot read this right now. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Oh, no, I can't. Never mind. I cannot read this, but basically they're working on light rail in New Jersey, and some people don't want it in their backyard, and they're complaining. Not literally in the backyard, but you know what I mean. So
why don't you want light rail?
Because it can be noisy. I don't know.
Because light rail is train, light rail is loud.
Stop. I actually...
Train good, car bad, horse chaotic neutral.
Yes. When I went to Italy, one of the places that we stayed at was literally right next to the metro line. But it wasn't just next to the metro line, it was next to an interlocking. So, from like 5 in the morning, you got these absurdly loud multiple units clunking over frogs in these crossovers. It was not great. I could understand why some people wouldn't want it there. You just pay people to soundproof their bedrooms or something. I don't know.
Just like, don't live next to the tracks.
Well, I mean, people don't usually have that luxury necessarily to pick up and move. Unlike the main narrow gauge, who managed to put together a new shop in record time. As a matter of fact, I think they're down at the other end of town. They're not near their tracks, which is kind of unfortunate. But they do have another shop now in Portland, Maine, so they don't have to run stuff back and forth to the WWF every time something breaks. But I don't know. It's a choice. It's a real choice. I mean, I guess they didn't have a lot of choices as to where to put the thing. But it's just at the other end of the city, I guess. There's no way they're going to ever attach a track to it if it is where I think it is. Which means they have to borrow the trailer from the main locomotive and machine works every time they want to move an engine from their shop to the track. But I don't assume that main locomotive and machine is using that trailer very often. And also, I mean, they're all sort of in this together. I also don't think they're going to need to do that very often. And also, they're not the only narrow gauge that's come up this week. As a matter of fact, the East Broad Top has set their Winter Spectacular for February 20th, which is right around the corner. That's like less than 2 weeks away. It's going to include M1, and hopefully they said, sorry. They used to run all of the diesels and all the steam engines on President's Day weekend, because that was their big thing. And in 1982, it was replaced with a spring event, which didn't draw as much attention, and then it changed to a fall event, and then that happened until they shut down at the end of 2011. But they're back to doing a Winter Spectacular, a one-day revival of the Winter Spectacular. Not that there's much going on at the EBT right now, but this is a lot compared to what's been going on there for the last 10 years. A $250 photographer's fare will be available for a Pete Laro photo shoot train. 3 to 8 p.m. Scenes on the main line in the Rock Hill Yard and around the Roundhouse. Obviously, they're not going to be able to run steam, but they're working on 14 and 16, as we know. Yeah. I didn't realize M1 was built by the Brie was technically a Brill car.
Well, the EBT is also working on and they have ambitions to acquire some standard gauge freight cars.
Which is silly.
It seems kind of weird. Narrow gauge railroad, standard gauge freight cars. Anyway, they want to have some standard gauge freight cars on display and then use them for, foot freights and stuff. Because back in the day, they would transfer standard gauge cars onto their line. They would just put narrow gauge trucks onto them, which I think that's really cool. If they pulled this off, and we're actually able to do that, that'd be awesome.
They'd have to clear up some of the stuff around Mount Union to actually do it, but I don't know how much of that property they still own.
I don't know either.
I don't know, it might be a while before they get that underway. I mean, they still need to acquire freight cars. I don't know where they'd put them in the meantime.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be cool to see, though.
It would be pretty cool to see. You know what else would be cool to see?
What's that?
1309 running. But apparently, it's still not able to run. County officials are demanding a financial audit of the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad to examine the books. They will have to wait, as the fans of 1309 will have to wait as the locomotive is still not operational. It's unable to operate under its own power, while issues with the condition of railroad tracks also remains a problem, as we have brought up every day for the last, several years since they started working on this.
God.
Oh my god. Yeah, so, basically the town has been giving them money for track maintenance as well as the, local stipend or whatever. And they're like, hey, it doesn't look like you guys have fixed anything. Where is this money going?
Yeah, it's kind of sus.
It's a little sus. Just a little bit. But, hey, what if they just took all their money and decided to spend it on a nice day out, say at the Strasburg Railroad, Jader?
I mean, they could. They could take 1309 up there and actually probably get it running in the weekend.
Or, since Jader missed that transition, or they could be using that money to fix the bridge in Salt Lake City. The last podcast we reported on the bridge that had burned down on the Salt Lake, Garfield, and Western. And I said, it's probably going to be a few months before they got it rebuilt because they're going to have to do a bunch of environmental studies and stuff. No, it turns out they had been planning for that bridge to burn down at some point or go bad at some point. So they already did all the environmental studies. So they've already started reconstruction on the bridge. And as far as I know, it's already reopened.
Effing incredible.
That's good.
All right, Jader. You were supposed to talk about the escape room.
Yeah, I know my transition sucked ass.
So talk about the escape room.
Right, room. The Strasburg Railroad is premiering this year. First train is on February 12th, so that's next week? Next Friday. Wow. Or no, this Friday. They are starting their escape room train, which I have high hopes for. It's kind of like a Harry Houdini themed kind of thing. There's food and drinks included. All kinds of stuff.
So are you supposed to be escaping or eating?
I'm
gonna sit here and finish this before I try to break out. I mean, they're treating me so well. I
think you're trying to. It really doesn't say, what exactly. If you're trying to get out of the room, it's the only thing that really it says is you and your party are trying to get Harry Houdini out of the. Out of the safe that's on the train.
Oh, okay, okay. So you don't have to escape. You have to help him escape.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense, because I was thinking if you're trying to break out of a moving railway car, you might have some trouble.
Yeah, that sounds kind of not safe. But, yeah, they're starting this Friday. They're going to use their president's car, Philadelphia and Reading number 10. I'm really hopeful that, I really hope this works.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Valley Railroad partnered with with some escape room people a little while ago. But
Anyway, yeah. Escape room.
Escape room. And escaping a moving railway car is bad enough, but what if you're locked in a box on the Shinkansen?
Jared.
Yeah.
You fed me.
Uh-oh. Poor timing. Never mind.
Trouble.
Somebody else take over. Somebody talk about something.
Let's stay in Pennsylvania for a minute.
Okay.
And talk about something that I'm certainly excited about. An ABA set of Pennsy FA Alcos.
Can I have your Alcos?
No. So this is on the what?
No, I was just looking at these. I wanted to see if they have original engines.
As far as I know, they're all original. Let's see.
Since then, the mechanical focus has shifted from restoring to maintenance and troubleshooting, which has prompted a search for more injector pumps to keep as spares for the often challenging prime movers. Okay. Oh, the B unit will remain unpowered.
Aw.
The FB1 lost its 244 engine when it became the first B unit converted to a remote control car. That's your cab car.
Interesting. But
I want
yeah.
everything running blue carbon and painted in my lifetime. Oh boy, good luck.
I hope this works.
I mean, Alcos are good. Alcos are good for you. They might not be PAs, but they're still pretty cool.
They are good till they start eating parts.
They will start eating parts, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah, but then again, I'm assuming these will be well taken care of, and well taken care of and well maintained,
Mm-hmm.
and not ran in a bad way. Let's just say that, not ran in a bad
Ran
way.
constantly.
Yeah, ran
Also,
constantly, ran too hard.
Get those pumps.
Yeah.
Well, the only people with stuff left are Bears and TBA, and I don't know what just happened to TBA. So Bears, if you want to take it away, you're welcome to. Oh, he's muted.
I'm still here. I was just muted because I had nothing to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
All right. And in terms of what I have to say, well, I'm gonna get the easier one out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
Trains Forge's new F units, and being a Trains
not
2019, and being a Trains 2019 user, I was lucky enough to snag the Southern Pacific and Demonstrator units.
Nice.
Must say they're
Trains
pretty
Forge.
good models.
Transforge always coming out with good stuff. I mean,
Yeah. They're part of the reason why I decided to make the move to Trains in 2019.
mm-hmm.
And the next one is
Uh-oh.
how Norfolk Southern's planning to discontinue the CTC traffic control system on its Delaware and Hudson subdivision.
Which makes me sad.
Yeah. Trying to figure
No more
out what's the
dispatch?
reason.
No more signals.
Oh.
That sounds stupid.
It's dark
Honestly.
territory.
The best way to sum up Norfolk Southern at this point is basically like, you know that one episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs sings that song where it's like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-chingery? That's basically modern Norfolk Southern as shell nut.
Hello, I like
Dude.
money.
Dude, that's every
What
class
inspired
one.
you to sell off a
But being
crap
honest,
load
they
of
actually give a
your
shit about
just
things.
because, even though you might need more logos in the future. Money!
Money.
So, on the topic of Norfolk Southern, the pandemic hurt railroad traffic across the board, but none more than Norfolk Southern. Their Norfolk Southern volume for 2020 was down nearly 12%, which that's pretty rough.
No,
Yeah.
it's not great.
Twice as much as CSX.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
And
Which article is this?
that's the NS Rebound.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
Because
the reason why
they're-
Norfolk Southern... Sorry, carry on.
They're expecting quite a turnaround this year as intermodal traffic is continuing to increase. And
I mean,
that's not really surprising. And they are as a railroad that has drastically shifted over to precision to PSR, they are looking at continuing to increase their train lengths to keep crew count lower and everything like that.
it's bigger.
It's longer.
And it's certainly stronger. Not.
Oh, woo.
Press X it out.
Notices your train length.
No.
Excuse me, sir. Why is your train about 5,000 freight cars long?
Because we only have one crew to run it.
Yeah. Me and Run 8 taking everything.
See,
When you have 12 sets of DPUs.
they did the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
PSR.
Well,
Yeah, you probably would have you'd probably need a lot of motive power to haul that many freight cars.
No,
Not
no,
really.
no. They throw one. No, they have like they would just throw one engine on it.
yeah. What is
Okay, or-
HPT anyway?
That's stupid.
Horsepower per ton.
And my cat keeps shoving her head into my nose.
Or
Anyway,
what you.
I wanted to.
What the fuck?
What?
They're just doing crazy shit. It doesn't make any sense.
I wanted to talk about another cool restoration and one other thing before I throw the ball back to you, TBA, because this second thing is actually something that It seems to be a recurring theme every time you're on the show. Well, the first thing is that BNO 51, which is an EA, the first EA, as a matter of fact, was
EA Sports.
Get in the game.
It has finished its restoration and it looks gorgeous. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
so-
I think I saw what it looks like now.
If I don't know, if I get the chance to go down to Baltimore, I will gladly go. I mean, the B&O Rail Museum is a pretty significant, attraction. Baltimore trip when? I realized how close Baltimore and DC were. When I was there, I was like, oh, you can go right over there. And yeah, down in DC, the FRA launched a website to report blocked crossings.
Oh,
This
that.
was-
Yeah, that
yeah.
happens all the time when I'm on.
Yeah, and so now they created a new website to help drivers report railways that are blocked. I think that's supposed to say roadways that are blocked by trains for long periods of time. So this was sort of encouraged by a town of Marshfield, and there was a stoppage in September of 2019 and another of December in that year where a lot of grade crossings were blocked. And yeah, so I think this is just the beginning of a sort of, I don't know, tool that can be used not just to help drivers get around if crossings are blocked for a while, but also help people maybe or help the government maybe check on railroads that are blocking crossings for a long time and tell them not to do that. Of course, if you happen to be a resident of Marshfield and you were particularly upset at the railroad, you might take things into your own hands. But, pro tip, the feds don't take kindly to that, as one man found out. Isn't that right, TBA?
Yeah, there was an incident. Oh my god, I just saw the picture.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not like, oops.
That's a pretty bad thing. So, a New Mexico man is facing federal charges for allegedly derailing a freight train. God.
Yeah. I mean,
authorities say that he placed railroad ties on the track near Vado, and that caused the train to... yeah, ooh is right.
it's not great.
It's
pretty bad.
It's pretty rough. It looks like it was an auto-wreck train as well, which is... At least it was an empty train.
Conductor and engineer were both injured, which I assume also doesn't help the guy's federal terrorism charges.
How many ties did this man put on the track?
At least one too many.
Because
This man is the railroad version of Thanos. He used the railroad to destroy the railroad.
he is inevitable.
He does put a smile on his face.
He is inevitably going to jail.
He should have gone for the head.
Inevitably going to jail.
Yeah.
Apologies for my really crappy impression of the Nintendo Switch snap.
God, resulting in millions of dollars of damage. Dude, I wonder if he was just sat there, like, off the side of the track, like, yes.
You gotta wonder how premeditated that this was. Was he, like, waiting on the train for a while? Did he set the ties and then leave? Like,
What set this man off?
he was stuck at a crossing. No, I have no idea.
Hang on one second.
Doggos.
All in all, please refrain from placing ties on the tracks. They go under the tracks for a reason.
Yeah. Or, don't derail trains, like, at all. Don't do a terrorism.
You just don't be a terrorist. That's another good idea.
Don't be a terrorist.
Japan has started to express... I can't think words, I'm sorry. They have started to put cargo on their Shinkansens.
I was going to say...
To lead the way in express freight.
Yeah. I mean, it's very express freight.
But,
also,
I mean, it's good because, while they have seen a significant drop in passenger count due to the pandemic, undoubtedly, they're still figuring out ways to make money off of these incredibly high-speed trains. And honestly, it's clever. It's clever.
I mean, it's the equivalent of RPOs on express trains. It's also, I just love the video, the sheer number of people with cameras watching this guy put a box in the train.
17 cameras. But now with this, watch in the next few years, they're gonna start having like dedicated freight Shinkansens. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe not dedicated freight Shinkansens, but maybe like a baggage car. Maybe something.
Maybe we will get your RPO Shinkansen car.
Japan RPO Shinkansen car. Listen, I'm officially licensing that. If they decide to do it, they owe me royalties.
It's trademarked.
Yeah, I just also want to say that this was a test, the one that is linked to, but they currently transport goods to and from Hokkaido and Honshu by ship, which is kind of funny. Like, this is what the trains are replacing now. That we're on round 2, 200 years later, putting the canals out of business. Electric Boogaloo. So, yeah, they do hope to develop this, which is really kind of fun and exciting and weird. But yeah, this was, from what I understand, this was a successful test.
Can I just make a comment about the RPO thing?
What?
Imagine having so like they use like dedicated RPOs on this thing, and they have the hook, but it's like 200 miles an hour.
Dude,
I think that's too fast.
What are we talking about now? Something about a jet?
Shinkansen RPO.
What?
The hook. So it's like...
How was that? Okay, speaking realistically, that was freaking... Okay, speaking realistically, if that thing was that thing would freaking rip the mailbags open.
Yes, for
They're
one.
not going
But
so
for two,
fast.
imagine opening up the door to like put the hook out the. Dude, open it up and it would
All
just be
you
like.
get is
I
all
mean-
you get is just a freaking. You just get nothing on the hook, a torn mailbag, and a very angry mailman.
You get a shred of bag.
You get the envelopes just following behind the train.
Also, the other important thing to consider, if you're opening a door to get this mailbag, when your Shinkansen is going 200 miles an hour, that's going to slow you down. These things are so streamlined that opening a door is a huge amount of drag.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would probably.
I thought you were going to say that would cause the person to be sucked out of it.
No.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if that's how that would work. They'd have to be harnessed up to something. But that's crazy.
You have to strap in for your mail job.
After that, you're going to have to get mailbags made of titanium.
Yes. Alright, I want to, I was trying to seg, when I said test, I was trying to seg to TBA's last link, because I have one more from overseas that's particularly interesting, and kind of funny, and I think it would be a good way to end the show.
Yeah,
so
but
let's talk about
Amtrak
Siemens.
is testing their new Siemens venture coaches, which is slightly triggering because the scheme does not line up with the Midwest scheme.
It doesn't line up with the engines.
Can I have an image of the? Can I have an image of one of those?
It's like a foot too low. Come
In the
come on,
link,
man.
in TBA's link, if you click on it and scroll down,
All
it's
right, I'm about to just post a picture here.
All right.
do that.
But like, come on. They look cool. They look cool. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But like, really?
I mean, they look nice, but I really don't know how I feel about them.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. In a couple of years, they'll probably all get repainted and it'll match even less.
Yeah, probably.
But at least in those few years, they'll actually be well loved. Seems to be the Amtrak golden rule. If something replaces something, give it a couple of years. Then it'll be a cult classic.
Yeah. Well, no, then they'll have to retire the thing that they brought in to replace it and then bring that thing back because,
We could
I
just
don't know,
do
it didn't
this.
work.
Yeah, I guess so.
Toasters be like. And
But
you know what else?
it is
You
still
can.
pretty cool to see that we're getting new equipment.
Mhm.
It's always cool to see new stuff.
Oh yeah,
And the
it's
toasters-
always good.
The toasters came back because even though we wanted to phase them out, the thing we tried to replace them with wasn't up to snuff, and I feel like that also has happened recently, like in the last couple months when we got rid of Flash. I mean, not only are we missing all those games we grew up with,
Rest
But-
in peace, miniclip.com.
yeah, but also the entirety of the Chinese railroad system shut down because it was running on Flash.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what they had to do
They can
was
always
get a
just
pirated
download-
version. They had to get a pirated version of Flash.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm
I
not
was
kidding.
gonna say they could always just download Flashpoint.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny, actually.
that's the
But-
best.
Also, why get rid of Flash? It was great.
Because it had a lot of security vulnerabilities that couldn't be fixed, is why.
I see.
So,
and that's
so, like, it-
understandable.
I don't like that it had to go either. I wanna play tanks again, but,
Dude, yeah.
you know,
Oh, now I'm getting reminded of how, like, one time I was in middle school and me and a bunch of other students were playing Tank Trouble, and I showed them this glitch where if you push on the wall enough, like if you press the tank against the wall enough, the tank literally phase through the wall.
does anyone
That-
remember Incredible
What's that
Buddy?
gonna be like?
I don't.
Incredible Buddy.
No.
No.
Bloons Tower Defense.
Oh, everybody remembers
Rest in
that.
peace. It's everyone's
No.
favorite.
Was Block Swords Flash? I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember that game with like the 2x1 block you had to roll around.
Dude,
No,
yeah,
that-
that's
that-
Bloxers.
That's
I
that's
hated
what
that
that was.
game.
Okay, yeah, that was Flash.
That's
Um,
like third grade,
I hated that game.
dude. I loved
I
it.
was not good at
Wait,
it.
can you
I was so bad at it.
Blocks. Can you still play it?
I remember a Bubble Tanks. That was good stuff.
Does it still cool math? Does it still work?
Probably not.
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh god. All right. Anyway, so that's that for the news. We have done this podcast in what amounts to record time. We still have like an hour until the Super Bowl, so that's great. I know Jillies has to go to work in a little bit.
Yay!
Yeah, aren't you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And yeah, and I'm gonna probably go back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh until the thing starts, because there's a tournament on right now, and I screwed up my chances right before we started, and I got angry.
Probably just watch that for the commercials, but
I'm gonna watch it to. I mean, let's do this. Who are we rooting for in the Super Bowl? I'm rooting for the Buccaneers, but only because of Tom Brady and because I don't really like the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for
I'm not even
Brady.
interested in the Super Bowl, but I'm just going to root for them since Tom Brady is the only one I really know about.
Hell yeah.
Brady.
Yeah, no, Brady.
I don't really have an opinion.
Also, on the topic of sports, the Blackhawks game right now, it is 1-1 in the third quarter.
Nice. All right, well, that should about wrap things up. We've got a Locomotive Royale coming up next Thursday, not on Wednesday. I had to move it because I'm getting Ian over here to do his lines for To Rule the World. I had Shelby over here to do her lines for To Rule the World, so we are making headway. And I have also wrapped up writing for Season 2, and I've moved on to finishing up what's writing for Season 3. Which, if anybody wants to help, if anybody wants to sit down with me and help me schmutz along with the writing, this goes out to mostly horsemen and hobos, but, okay, Chili's, I saw that.
Well, like, I can't write here. It won't just let me click here. I have to,
Hold
like, do this.
on. There. What did you just do?
I didn't do anything.
Fix that. Alright. Okay. Oh, right, latest train on Amtrak. We still gotta do that. I knew there was something gnawing at the back of my head. That we had to do. Nobody look at the stupid thing, because last time somebody just looked at it like a fool. Oh, that's a lot of red. That's a lot of red. Oh, it's because of the snowstorm. It's still snowing? Yes! Holy Moses. Okay, so the latest train on Amtrak is, pretty late. If anybody wants to hazard a guess.
I'll take a shot here. Judging by the way you said there's a lot of red and there's a snowstorm, I kind of feel like it's one of the obscure ones.
Is it the Lakeshore?
Which lakeshore?
I don't know how to describe the Lakeshore. Does it, like...
It runs east to west.
I want to say the eastbound Lakeshore, seeing as it's the snowstorm.
Which one is that? Oh, by the way, there are two eastbound lakeshores. One of them is going to New York, the other one's going to Boston.
The one to New York.
Okay. Julius, what were you thinking?
I'm thinking it's something in the corridor. I have a feeling it's on the corridor. Or close
Okay.
to.
Okay. There are a lot of trains on the corridor.
So I'm gonna go with. I don't think it's. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with like a northbound regional.
Okay. Alright, that's fair. Jader?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, how about let's go with the southbound Downeaster, or is that still a thing?
The Downeaster's still a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
Alright,
Yeah,
we
let's do that.
got a southbound Downeaster on the system. Alright.
Okay.
Bears, do you have a guess?
Bears is dead.
He's dead. Bears?
All
What
right.
happened to him? I don't know what happened to him. I guess he's gone. Rip in peace.
Well,
Okay,
wait,
so
what?
Bears is dead. But the Lakeshore Limited to New York is currently 1 hour late. It recently left Albany Rensselaer. So, yeah. So there's that one. Now, the regionals, this is going to be a little bit tougher. There's one that's 53 minutes late. There's one that's an hour 36 late. That's pretty late for a regional. What about this one? Oh, that's not a regional. There's a regional that's 42 minutes late. But I could cycle through a bunch more of these. Unfortunately, none of them are the latest train on Amtrak. There's one that's an hour and 16 minutes late, which is pretty damn late for a regional. But none of them are the latest train on Amtrak. The southbound Downeaster has actually just left Brunswick, so it's still on time. But I assume it might have some trouble when it gets closer. No, ladies and gentlemen, the second latest train on Amtrak is on the corridor, but it is not a corridor train. It is the Crescent. It's 5 hours and 8 minutes late. It's just outside of Philadelphia right now. And the latest train on Amtrak is train number 92. That's the Silver Star to New York. It is 5 hours and 41 minutes late. It is on approach to Petersburg, Virginia, which is south of Richmond. So, yeah, that's Amtrak. There are a couple Western trains that are late. 5 and 6 are both running about an hour behind, or an hour and a half behind. And the Canadian is 7 hours and 31 minutes late, just for reference. But, yeah, look on the Amtracker. It looks pretty bad. It's rough.
It's definitely been worse.
It has been worse, but you don't normally see the Northeast Corridor in a state like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Wait,
I'd like to thank
Wait.
you.
Wait. You said
What?
Oh. Wait, you said the Crescent was the latest train?
The Crescent is the second latest.
Oh, okay, yes, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
just needed to point that one out because it was exceptionally bad. It's really bad.
Dude, even the Fellas are late, and that almost never happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty bad weather. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of wet snow. All right, Jader. With 1.4.
For my termination. What?
I was gonna say 1
How
point
did I
for
get
expertly dodging that segue.
Dodging that segue like I dodge Science of the Girl's Interest in Me. Oh wait.
Oof.
Anyway, I found this a few weeks ago, and surprised I haven't dumped it in the chat a million times. But this is a PDF I found that's from a modeling magazine back in the 90s. It's a good read on milk trains, how they worked, how they were set up, how to model one. So it's a good read.
I feel like I've seen this in reference material that we had at the NBNW. Because we loved our milk trains at the NBNW.
I want to
Anyway,
model a milk train someday.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just happy Super Bowl Sunday, even though this is going to come out afterward. Record efficiency for the podcast.
Lightning
Bears,
round.
Huh?
what's your termination?
Termination?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean end of the line thing?
Yeah.
It was just a joke I came up with saying, Snidely Whiplash is secretly plankton.
Surprise, surprise, crabs. Alright, TBA?
Let's go Hawks! We're beating Dallas.
And O'Gillies.
Forgot to think about a termination, so all I'm going to say is I don't have a termination.
Alright.
Fair enough.
At least we get that TJ vibe. I feel like we missed that without... When TJ's in here, you're fulfilling that vibe. I don't actually have a title for this podcast. I don't know what to call it.
Forgot Perry the Platypus was here.
He's in there. Okay. Alright, I've got a title. Alright, thank you guys for coming on this episode of the Terminus Podcast. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Like I said, thanks to my co-hosts, my guests, and our viewers. Bye!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.